Hello my beautiful people, welcome to your life path reading for September 2021 with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So a quick note about these readings, the way that they're structured. I put out my first set of these last month and I realized that everybody kind of got lost in the melee. So let me explain to you how they're going to go. The first part of this video is going to be a general overview because we're looking at the universal month that all of us are existing under. Don't skip this because it's going to provide you an important context of how this fits into your personal life path reading, and more importantly, how this energy is going to affect you. And then I will go into what kind of energies and themes you can expect specifically for your life path number. So this first part in the beginning, yes, it's going to be the same for all videos, but you need to watch this because it's going to provide you that important backdrop to the entire painting of your life, let's say. All right, so this month, September, is a universal month 5, right? So 5 is fast, it's dynamic, it's passionate, it's very avant-garde in a lot of ways, and it's very much about being present. It's about being here in the now. It's about being embodied in your physical self, living through the senses, through what you can see, through what you can touch, through what you can taste, hear, smell, right? So this is a great month to stimulate and nourish your soul through your senses, whether that's eating good food, having good sex, buying yourself a really wonderful set of bed sheets that just feel so comfortable and zhuzhy, whether this is buying yourself an amazing glass of wine or a dress or a pair of trousers that fit really well. This is a very embodied energy. It's a very physical, a very sensual nature and sensual energy. Now, the number 5, when we talk about sensual, yes, it can be sensuality, sexuality, all of that. But when we talk about sensual, we're talking about the 5 senses of the body. Anything that stimulates those, anything that nourishes your soul through those energies is going to be highly favored for you and highly sought after by a lot of people this month. So I've got my trusty notes here as well. This is the number of energy, passion, vibrancy. It's also the number of travel. It's the number of freedom and liberation, right? So these are all things that people are going to be a lot more interested in this month, which makes total sense to me. What I will say as well, we might see this or talks about these kinds of things on the wider world situation. So we might see people, maybe the people are demanding more freedom, or maybe a revision of the rules, or, different ideas or ways of doing things when it comes to those things. I also feel like as well, we're going to see some sort of development in the travel world. I've been talking about this a lot this year in general, and not just because of the pandemic, but because of the way that things are moving in general. So that being said, 5 is also very technical, right? It's dynamic, it's advancing, it's liberating, it's confrontational and even competitive. So you might find that these are energies that you come up against in the world in some way, shape or form. You might find that the way that people approach things are more competitive than usual. Even people that you kind of know aren't really that way inclined will have that kind of edge to them where they want to get ahead, they want to push ahead, they want to bring things, maybe new things into the fore. So I diverge from the usual planetary associations to the number 5. So a lot of people postulate that it's not, but for me 5 is very mercurial and very Uranian. A lot of people postulate that the number 4 is Uranus ruled, and that doesn't sit right with me. And the beauty of these systems is you can change and adapt them to the ways that they speak to you. 5 is technical, it's advancing, it's freedom loving, it's liberation, it's travel and movement. Those sound like Mercury and Uranus to me. They don't sound like Saturn. They don't sound like, anyway, that's a debate for a whole other day. But that being said, those for me are the ruling planetary energies for this number. Now, This month is definitely going to pack a bit more of a punch. Why? 2021 itself is a 5-year. This month is a universal month 5. So we're all under this double hit of this 5 energy. So this energy of competition, this energy of needing to get ahead, this energy of being physically stimulated in some way, shape or form is going to be really heightened. You might find that the anxiety, if you suffer from anxiety, I know I do, if you have that kind of thing this month, you might find that it's kind of through the roof. You might find that it's more pervasive than usual, and if that is the case, I invite you to do something physical, do something with your body, jump, dance, right? Go running, go to the gym, have sex with your partner, have sex with a random stranger if you want to. Yeah, I don't condone promiscuity, but you get my point. This is all about utilizing your body and letting your body lead the way. It's not so much about sitting down and planning. All of that was last month with the 4 energy. We're in a 5 month now. This is about doing. It's about action. It's about movement and passion and desire. Now, I will say to you as well, if you've got something to start this month, I would say that it's actually kind of highly favored or blessed. There's a feeling this month that even though it is the 5 energy, which isn't necessarily known for sticking around or sticking to things, there's a sense that the way that this month combines with the overall energy of the year, if you start something this month, it has a lot more oomph, it has a lot more chance of success. And I believe that's because we've got the sun in Virgo this month. We've also got, mostly in Virgo this month, we've also got Mercury in his home sign where he's happy, but then he's going to dip into Libra. So he's going from a sign where he's exalted and then moving into a sign that he actually does well in because it's a fellow air sign. So in a lot of ways, and yes, Mercury is going to go retrograde this month, but in a lot of ways I actually feel like this is quite a beneficial month for starting new projects, certainly ones that you want to start with a bang so that you can, you know, make as much headway as possible. The way that I'm seeing this in my mind, it's kind of like, you know, the swimmers, when they get to the end and they flip over and they kick off of the thing, like the more kick you get from that wall, the less energy you kind of waste swimming, right? And then once you feel yourself slowing down, then you can get into it. It kind of feels like that to me. So this is a month, like I said, for action, interact rather than plan. What I will say as well, speaking of doing, get physical. Dance, jump, run, skip, you know, like I said, all of those things. It is an energy to liberate yourself in some way, shape or form. So if there's something or someone or a connection of some sort that's been bogging you down, this month it will feel even more stifling, and this can create that kind of, you know what, I'm out, right? So just be aware that this energy is floating around so that you can find a way to manage it. Now, this is also a number that makes people a lot more passionate and a lot more vocal. It also sees people wanting more fun, right? So if you see people being more hedonistic than usual, it wouldn't surprise me at all, actually. So just be aware that that might be an energy around. Characteristics of this number: powerful, vibrant, energetic, sexual, sensual, and materially charged, right? So if you find that, you know, you yourself want to consume more, find a way to do that and the reason being is, it's like, give me sensation. And if you don't give me sensation, I will find everything to fill that need for sensation, and I will grab it and I will hold on to it. And so I invite you this month, if you feel yourself feeling like, I've got to spend money, or I've got to do this, I've got to do that, feed your soul with something sensual, with this, you know, with your hands. It doesn't just have to be, because 5 is the number of sex, drugs and rock and roll, as they say. And it doesn't have to be those things, although it can be very escapist, and when it runs away with itself, it can really run away with itself. So this is why I say, be in your body and feed it and nourish it through the senses this month, and that will tap you into this energy and have you using it right. All right, so what else have I got here? Things that you need to look at. Are your plans too rigid? Do they need to evolve? Are you living your life to the fullest? Are you really sucking the marrow out of the bones, as it were? That is 5 energy. It lives to be bold, to be dynamic, but to connect to everything and anyone properly, right? To be present in the physical self, to be present in the moment is a very 5 energy. Live, laugh, have sex, eat good food. One thing that I will say with 5 energy as well, connect to as many different people as you possibly can, whether this is people overseas, whether it's from people from different backgrounds, different religions, different everything. The more stimulus you have that is different from your everyday routine, the better. And this month, create new routines. If you know something is outdated, outmoded, or just outworn, get rid of it. All right, that really is the best way for you to get ahead this month. What I like to say to people as well, easy ways to utilize this energy: cook from a different continent every other day. You know, one day you're cooking Chinese, the next you're cooking South African, then Greek, Italian. Like, literally just switch it up and keep switching it up. That will help alleviate some of this, restless tension, as will the physical stuff, right? So get doing something. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Stick around for your personal life path reading and we will get into it. Take care and I'll see you in a moment. Hello, you wonderful Life Path 7 person you. Welcome to your September 2021 reading. Let's get straight into it. So this month, I've got my trusty notes here. This month is, excuse me. Hello, you beautiful Life Path 7 person you. Let's get straight into it. So this is your September reading for 2021. So this month's going to be a much more light-hearted energy for you. It's going to be a lot of fun. You might find yourself trying to be, the usual Life Path 7 and be, uncovering and skeptical and all the rest of it. But I invite you not to do that this month, right? This month wants light-hearted. It wants freedom. It wants expression. It wants you to express yourself and to find ways to do that. And I think this month, if you do even just a little bit of this, it could go a very long way for you. Expressing more of how you feel about things. It's sharing more about how you feel about things. Whether that's from your mind, whether it's from your heart, whether it's from both. I think this month people will get a lot out of you this month if you are able to do that, right? Now, the way this energy combines for you, it's creating a need for fun, laughter, connection, self-expression, absolutely. Not to mention as well, like what I know of you guys, Life Path 7 people tend to have a somewhat stoic and or dark sense of humor, but it's usually brilliant, right? And I think if you let that shine through this month, you could go a long way to really either making some amazing friends or at least enhancing the relationships that you have currently. So letting people see this more human, sort of down to earth, light-hearted side of your nature will go a long way this month to humanizing you as well. This is also a month where you've got an ability to charm people. Like, usually when Life Path 7 wants something, they'll just hit you with all of the facts and the reason that you should do it, the reason that you should be a part of it. You don't have to go that far or work that hard this month. You can literally use your charm, use your affection, use your smiley sort of energy. Find a way to do that. I think you will get just as much out of it as other people will as well. So what I've learned through numerology is anytime that the number 3 shows up in a way, which it is for you, it's wise to maintain the connection, right? So what I mean by that is whenever we have a prominent 3 energy and or transit, it tends to be that connections are forged or formed in some way, shape or form. Now, when that happens, the people that you meet in a 3 energy will usually go on to be quite prominent or at least useful to you at a later date. Now, that's not to say that, oh, well, I met you in a 3, so I'll just wait to, keep you on a shelf until then. It's not that. It's more a case of what or whoever shows up as a friend in a 3 energy tends to end up becoming a part of your network and usually ends up being quite instrumental in some of the plans that you want to put into play, or in really advancing you in some way, shape or form, which is actually a really nice energy. What I put here as well is, at worst you've gained a friend, at best you've gained a potential power player and added them to your network. So when it comes to love this month, again, light-hearted, right? So you guys tend to prefer and like depth, right? Connection, real connection, truth, honor, integrity, no BS with the life path 7. It just doesn't work for you. But your partner and the energy of this month are asking for and quite possibly demanding more light-hearted fun, freedom and frolics from you. And the more you give over to that energy, the happier you will be and the happier they will be. And this isn't to say that you now suddenly have to change who you are for the whole entire month and every month until you've got your own number. Not in the slightest. It's about embracing the energy that is imposed upon you through the numerology that you're living, right? And so you become better by assimilating that energy because you're working with it instead of against it. And in that regard, it will highlight something to you about yourself that you haven't really figured or given time or credence to up until that moment. So this is a month to tease your partner gently, to get back to what makes you laugh. How can you bring more ease, more enjoyment and grow the relationship through the lighter energy? As a 7, you need that level of intensity and connection, absolutely, but getting back to the giggles and the cuddles could really go a long way this month, like seriously. So also, this would be a really good month, like if you could go and visit like something that involves animals, that would be great. Maybe not a zoo, I don't like zoos for obvious reasons and stuff, but you get my point. But something natural or creative, theatre shows, movies, dancing, anything that includes art or music this month will be highly favoured. And if you can do those things with a partner, they'll be so much more greatly enjoyed and deeply appreciated. If you're single though, this is going to be through your friends, your family, your interpersonal connections. If you are invited to functions with the friends, with the family, if they tell you, we've tried to set you up with someone, go ahead this month. Like this month, this will be one of the ones where they actually get it right. Okay, so usually like they set you up with someone and you're like, oh my gosh, like do you people even know me? Like what are you doing? But this could be the month where they absolutely get it right. Okay, so love that. As this energy combines for communication, there could be a real meeting of minds and a sharing of ideas that gets really sexy. And that's really nice, right? Because that's going to give you a whole big dose of what you need, but it also comes with that lighter energy that you're trying to incorporate or to learn to work with this month as well. When it comes to your money, finance is an interesting subject for anybody with a life path 7. Because there are so many different implications with it. And I know it's always an interesting topic. I mean, money in itself, right? It's such a loaded topic, but I think for you guys, especially because this, it's such an interesting way that you interact with it. What I will say though, is this month is no exception to that. It sees you and it leaves you in some way. So what I mean by that is this month, spending your money on experiences, spending money on things that enrich or nourish your soul in some way, shape or form is the best way for you to use money, especially if it brings more fun, more enjoyment, more excitement into your life. This energy can make you a little bit more frivolous with the spending, so you just want to be aware that that is the case. But really anything that is enjoyable or is going to feed you, as well as feeding your belly, it's feeding your soul. This month is highly, highly favoured. When it comes to getting ahead for finances, I would say, again, this is through your ideas, through your networks. Anything where you're connecting with other people could be lucrative this month. Okay, so when it comes to work, you're going to need stimulation this month, right? It might be fair to say that through your work, you might say more to the people that you work with. You might connect more to the people that you work with. You might interact more with the people that you work with, and possibly as well more this month than you have all year, right? So don't be surprised if they're like, oh my gosh, wow, like you're so talkative, you're so social, what's going on? It's, because usually it's like hi, bye, and you the bare minimum. But this month you might find it's more than that. And don't take people's don't take it as an offense. That's actually supposed to highlight to you how stoic or withdrawn you usually are. Now, yes, that's an energy that you are born with, and so it's an energy that you need, but this month is asking you to come out of your shell more. And if you use that to your best advantage, you will be able to create and forge connections this month that maybe you haven't been able to in others. All right, so what else I've got here is be prepared that they might form okay, so when it comes to work as well, if you find that people are questioning you this month, it's not that they're questioning your validity or how well you do something. It's more a case of they're trying to really understand how you've got to the certain conclusions that you have. And because you've got that sort of 3 energy anyway, you're finding ways to do that anyway, to really highlight it. If you're looking for work, 3 energy says check in with friends, check in with the network, check in with it's through your connections that you're going to find what you need this month. Now, you are naturally intuitive, but you're even more so this month, so use that to your advantage. Best steps: get out into the world, go and see naturally beautiful things, spend time with arty, creative, fun or dynamic people that you know. We've all got those free-spirited bohemian type friends. Spend time with them this month. They will rub off on you and you might rub off on them, who knows. But remember, your best step for this whole month out of everything, keep it light-hearted. All right, if there are important conversations to have, get them done before the 13th, because Mercury is going to be doing his retrograde thing. Warnings. Being generous is great, but don't get reckless this month. This can be a somewhat fair weather friend energy, so don't make promises that you know you're not going to be able to keep this month. The reason I say this is for some people, and for lots of other life path numbers, they can make all the promises in the world, and most people would just be like, you know what, it's never going to happen. I'll take it with a pinch of salt. But because you are you, and you tend to have a lot of integrity and you tend to follow through on the things that you say you will do, if you say something this month and you make a promise, people are going to expect you to come through for that. And when you don't, they'll either be very surprised or very hurt, because the way that it will translate is, wow, this person usually does everything that they say they're going to do, and they haven't come through for me. That means that they don't like me, they don't care, they ad nauseum, right? So just be aware of that, because it could really end up being a thing. Okay, so your moon messages from the Human Design Oracle deck are, so the new moon is the gate 32 and endurance. So in a lot of ways, this is highlighting to you where you need to stick at something. So it's not necessarily that you're starting something new. It's more a case of this is you having to dig in, right? So this new moon is going to highlight to you where something either needs more juice from you, or it needs you to consider what the longer term plans and goals actually might be tied to it. When it comes to your full moon message, you've got the gate 30 and holding. And this is really interesting, right? So this card usually for me, it's putting a spot. So the full moon is a spotlight, right? It's highlighting something that you need to be aware of or conscious of. And that holding card is all about what you need to hold on to for dear life. It's about what you need to make a priority. So that full moon in Pisces, which is the bookend to that Pisces new moon that we had this year, that was supercharged, super powerful. the full moon in Pisces in the month of September is really highlighting to you what you should be holding on to, what you should really not let go of for love nor money. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.